Heyo, what's happening? Should you buy a house in 2022? I don't know. Let's find out. Despite a recent significant hike in interest rates, the competition for buying a house in 2022, especially in surrounding areas in Phoenix, Arizona, where I live, has still been high. Whether or not it's a good idea to buy right now or wait is anyone's best guess. So see ya, have a nice day. Just kidding. So here's some factors that I have considered that you should consider. Factor numero uno, number one. Is the population in your city or area growing right now, or is it declining? The New York Times actually published an article in August of 2021 explaining that Phoenix, Arizona is the fastest growing city. According to the statistics that get you laid out in the article, this tells me that I am probably safe in February of 2022 to buy a house in this area at this time. I base a significant portion of the probability of my success on how fast the population is increasing, because the more people that are in the area, the higher the demand is for housing, and therefore the prices will go right up. And if you own houses or apartments in said area, you get more rent and higher appreciation. If you go to Google right now and type in Justin Spencer's net girth, I'm editing that out. If you go to Google and you type in city, state, population growth, where you put in your specific city and state into place, example, Phoenix, Arizona population growth, take a look at the statistics and the data from credible sources to see if the population is going up or down. If it's going up, this is a good sign. If it's going down, try to dig a little and do some research to see why it's going down. If it is going down, this doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't buy a house, but you should also consider these additional factors first. Factor number two, could you afford what you want to own right now? Due to the interest rates finally starting to climb back up and the cost of home prices soaring, the cost of ownership can be extremely high for the average buyer who is not paying all cash. I personally rent out rooms in the houses I buy, and I do 5% conventional loans. So I never have to worry about this because all or most of the cost of ownership is immediately handled for how I go about my home buying process. But for you, perhaps your income is all tied to a job or a business or a mistress. That could fluctuate or change. This is a huge consideration to make, and you may need to scale down the size of house or compromise on the location of the house, and also perhaps get a house that's not as move-in ready as you'd like it to be, just to get a shot at getting an offer accepted, depending upon where you live. Factor number three, hitting that like button if you have not already. It helps me and the channel to grow so I can make better content for you. Thanks. Factor number three, do the benefits of home ownership currently outweigh the benefits of renting right now or not? Owning a home gives you access to the possibility of appreciation, constipation, tax write-offs, principal payoff, and the emotional feel-good feelings that come from the pride of owning your own home. But you might want to consider whether or not the cost of ownership, which includes the mortgage, insurance, property taxes, maintenance, HOA fees, and repairs, are going to be making good financial sense for you and your situation or not. Sometimes the amount of money you can save by renting and the amount of hassle you can save by renting can far outweigh the benefits of owning a home. Especially when you find out that your neighbor, Jim, is a swinger and throws parties that start at 3 a.m. and don't end until the break of dawn, Monday through Friday. Back on topic. Said differently, it's important for you to make a list of the potential cost savings of renting right now in 2022 in your specific area versus the cost of owning a house right now in the location where you want to buy. For example, if you were to rent a place and the top line rent was $2,000 per month with utilities included versus owning a house, and let's say the mortgage is $2,400 a month not including utilities, then the actual cost of ownership could be $3,200 a month or higher after you calculate utilities, maintenance, HOA fees, repairs, taxes, and insurance, not including any upgrades or updates you might want to make to the home as well after you move in. Also not including the fact that you would need to put down at least 5% of your cash savings into the house if you're going to be going conventional. And for a house in my area that looks like about 30 grand, roughly on a $600,000 house, which can buy you a 4 or maybe 5 bedroom house with 2 to 3 bathrooms in it. In this example, if saving $1,200 per month and keeping an extra 5% of a house down payment in your bank account is more important to you than the possibility of appreciation, tax write-offs, and principal payoff, then maybe it's better for you to simply rent. Factor number 4, should I wait for the housing prices to go down or cool off? I think this is a strong factor that you should consider, even though neither of us know the answer to it. My belief about where I live in Phoenix is that the housing prices are probably not going to go down, but perhaps the rate of appreciation could certainly decrease and correct itself as interest rates go back up, and as more homes are slowly being built and listed for sale and being added to the inventory in our market. If you live in a different area, it's important to consider whether or not more people are coming into your city and state versus leaving your city and state, as I said before. And you can call up and speak with local real estate brokers or agents in your area who know the landscape well and can give you some facts to help you decide what's best for you. But always do your own research and form your own conclusions whenever you can and whenever possible. Factor number 5, can you even get an offer accepted on a house right now without losing your shirt? So my realtor and I have typed up 5 offers this month and sent them all in. As of this moment, I have not yet had an offer confirmed to be accepted. 2 of those offers were not accepted, and 2 of the other offers I actually withdrew from before they reached the discussion table. After reanalyzing several factors, including the location, how much I was paying over asking, leaseback lengths I was offering, possible appraisal gaps I'd have to cover, changes in interest rates, and the contingency waivers, I decided I was not on board for the worst case scenario with either offer. So to manage my risk, I stepped back. On the 5th offer I just recently made and don't know the outcome of yet, I used some strong offer tactics to increase my chances. Some of the strong points I made on my most recent offer that other buyers might not be offering are the following. Firstly, I offered a $25 Starbucks gift card, a naked selfie, a 2-night stay at the Talking Stick Casino, just to get the ball rolling. So the initial asking price of the home is $550,000. I offered $565,000, which is 2.73% over the asking price. I offered to buy with a 5% down conventional loan, which does weaken my offer a little bit. I offered $25,000 in hard interest money, which strengthens my offer and also greatly increases my risk. What a hard earnest money offer means is if after I deposit the money with the title company, if for any reason I back out of the contract, the seller of the house can keep my hard earnest money deposit of $25,000. With a regular earnest money deposit, a buyer can generally back out of a contract with a seller if during the inspection period they see something about the house that they don't like, and they can get their money back. Because I'm going Viagra on this part, aka not soft, I also offered to waive the inspection, since the seller will know that even if I find something that I don't like in the inspection and I do back out, they get to keep the $25K either way. Again, and that is because my deposit is not soft. And I'm also waiving the appraisal to cover the gap if the home appraisal value falls short of the contract price of $565,000. I also included a 60-day free leaseback, so they have time to get their affairs into order after the house is sold and put into my name on the close of escrow date. Now, if you're watching this and you are an experienced real estate investor or real estate agent, you might think I'm absolutely borderline nuts for making this high-level, high-risk offer. However, because the cost of ownership, including repairs and everything else, is much lower for me, since I will be renting out rooms and bringing my current roommates with me, my risk is exceptionally lowered. I obviously am taking on far more risks by removing contingencies that would allow me to change my mind without penalty, but this is the exact kind of offer I believe I need to make in order to be competitive in the market I live and am trying to buy a home in. One last strategy you can use in an offer, which is something I used to help get my previous house, is something called an escalation clause. This is where you could increase your offer price automatically by an increment of $1,000 up to a new set limit. If a competing buyer outbids your initial price offer, this can keep you in the game. Now, under normal circumstances, I would not advise you to follow my offer tactics and strategy that I'm using to get this house. I know with this house, I can rent out at least 3 of the 4 bedrooms, and I could possibly convert a flex space into a 4th bedroom, making a total of 5 bedrooms. And I also have over 3 years of experience doing this stuff. So the risk for me specifically is significantly reduced if something were to go wrong. Now, here's another perspective. perspective. If you have to make an offer like this to get a house that you really want, you still totally can in many cases. For example, I don't have a secondary income from a spouse right now. It's just me. If you happen to have a secondary income from a spouse, that can be a huge piece of financial insurance and an income multiplier, which gives you greater financial flexibility and certainty. I don't personally have that. If you've also just sold your house and pocketed a bunch of cash and couldn't bear the idea of renting, then you will also probably be in a good position to compete in the market that you're in with an offer similar to mine if necessary. Okay, I hope that helps you decide whether or not you should buy a house in 2022. If you are a first-time home buyer, absolutely consider some of the factors that I mentioned above, along with some other factors that I did not mention that pertain more closely to you and your situation. If you are a seasoned home buyer, definitely consider the core factors that I listed to see what the best choice is for you to decide how you want to live right now going forward in 2022. Also, please smash that like button if you'd be so kind. It helps me to grow the channel, myself, and to make better content for you. I appreciate it. Love you guys. Peace.